So we are live. I'm going to wait for everybody to come in. So hold on, let me just do this Instagram right quick. Go live over here.
Do what you do.
I ain't even do this intro right because I wanted to talk about you before I had you pop up. But since we here now,
We here. We here.
so I'm just gonna get started, and then people gonna come in however they come in. But we're gonna go
Yeah.
because I appreciate your time. I have someone here who I have seen for a long period of time. I watched a lot of your promo videos on Instagram, and I have to say, I would see it, but I would just keep scrolling until I'm the person who got to see it like 17 times before they pay attention. That's me.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
then I finally like clicked it, and I was just like, oh my goodness, this is the person that I kept seeing. And then I'm all about investing in yourself. So once I finally decided that I wanted to do a podcast, I kind of wanted to find the people that were doing it, and really follow what they do, because success leaves clues, right? But I feel like I
Facts.
need to give you a proper intro, because I know you, and I'm sure a lot of people do, because you got 189,000 followers. But in case you didn't know, Nikki is the brand strategist behind the incomparable ET. You have seen her all over Instagram doing her thing with content and branding. Um, and now, all because I decided to ask, just in an ask. She is
Yeah.
here to speak with me and drop some jewels. So, Nikki, I want to know,
What's up?
how did you start? I mean, because we see you now, and I'm a part of your community, so I know about a lot of the things that you're doing. But how did you get
Yeah.
to where you are now? What was the journey here?
So it's a little bit weird, I'll say, right? Because I was in the Navy for 9 years, and when I got out, I wasn't really sure what to do. So in the Navy, I was in IT. I came out as an IT, and you would I would be happy because as an IT, you get like a guaranteed job and things like that. You shouldn't have no problems. But I was miserable, and I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do. So in this kind of discovery mode that I became in, I was on YouTube and I watched a whole bunch of videos from E.T. the Hip Hop Preacher, aka Thomas, and I joined his community where I just started also volunteering, like going to all the events, going into his online community and volunteering however I wanted to. In that
Mhm.
mix, I was like, I like creating content. Didn't know like if I was good at it or not, but I was like, I like putting your words to something visual. Let's do that, right? Um, and then whatever they needed help with. I mean, taking people to their seats, to getting food, to picking something up from the Levi's store. It didn't matter. I was I was going and doing it. And then they were like one day, yo, you wanna run the social media? And I was like, to me as it is, why not? You know what I mean? As a regular New Yorker, you normally turn your addictions into revenue somehow, some way. So I took over the social media, and then grew his social media from 300K to over 2 mil. And so then people started asking me, like, yo, how did you do that? And so that's how my brand started to grow, really go crazy pandemic, because then everybody's like, who's that chick that was talking about content and consistency, building a brand and all that stuff? Where's she at? Let me find her because we need that now. So that's how we started over here.
And now you have a really distinct brand. And how do you
Mhm.
balance like authenticity and like audience expectations, or like your
Um,
community expectations?
I attract who I am. You feel me? So meaning, uh, I was the curious one trying to figure out how to do social media. I was going through all the YouTubes, all the blogs, all of this, and I always did that. There was a central location to figure out. Okay, how do I really make this work? How I create content? What works with content? What is this AI stuff? How do I like what's happening on Instagram? Like, why is it trash? So I wish there was like one location.
Mm-hmm.
And so I at one location. And so it's not hard to stay authentic when you start with what you wish you had. You feel me? And this is all I do. I'm a geek, right? So I'll research all day. I'll try out new things. And if people want to watch that, which I'm very still shocked that people even know me and watch some of my stuff. But if people want to watch, praise God. If not, this is what I'm going to do, regardless, because I still like doing this. And I don't necessarily go and see, okay, these are the trending things. I got to go do that. It's more on this is trending. How does it apply to what I do? And how can I
Mm-hmm.
transform it into that more than anything? But yeah, I'm a product of what I want.
It's so interesting that you say like you're a geek and you're an introvert, because
Mhm.
I would not have gotten that when I look at your presence on social media. So what do you think is the most under, misunderstood thing about you, or misconception that people have about you?
I think one of them that you said, like people think I'm an extrovert because I am online, right? I love live and the quickness. I love going live. I mean, like, but what people don't really know is that I could turn that off. You know what I mean? Like, it's not surrounded by anybody. Probably if I don't have to go to any type of work outside of here, 90% of the time, I like being home. I like my kind of this is my vibe, right? But it does turn on when I need to be in front of people. I'm not one of that like, oh my god, it's okay, bye. I'm not the awkward introvert. Like I like
Mm-hmm.
hugs, and if you're Hispanic, I'll give you a kiss on the cheek. If you're, if you're a black person who's been around Hispanics, then I'll give you a kiss on the cheek. Like I'm that type. Right? I really myself and like don't you won't see me at the parties, you won't see me at the galas, you won't see me at all those different things. So it's like when you do see me, it's like, oh my God, Nikki's out. You know what I mean? So that's one of the things that people will be like, nah, I had someone on that on the YouTube earlier. Like, okay, you say you're an introvert, but you're not. The last time I checked, I never met you.
Right.
Like last time you never met me in real life. Like real life, I'm this way. Like and and when people get to really know me, they're like, oh snap, you you really need to cut out. You need you to go. Um, so that's one. And probably another thing that people don't know unless you've been following me for a bit is like I suffered through depression, right? So some people will see like, oh, she got it all together, you know, and I'm like, and then, but I know how to manage it. It's not one of those things, but I am transparent about, yo, I go through strong creator burnout, which then triggers the depression of mine. Like I go through these different things and I have different routines to help manage this. And I only say this not necessarily from feel pity, oh my God, but like look on the internet and be like, oh my God, this person's great. And they have their content machine and nah, I know how to repurpose. You know what I mean? Like I know how to schedule things. I know how
Yeah.
to back certain things. Like it's not we ain't trying too hard. We make it look easy and just so I can maintain sanity. And I don't live on social media. Like I just do what I need to do and roll out.
So what are some of those like rituals or things that you do to kind of help manage your depression or just anxiety or burnout?
So I would say one, I pray 3 times a day. I'm on that. Yeah, that's a new thing this year. Uh, just to get my thoughts out, whether it's on digital, whether it is in the notebook, just to get my thoughts out. I meditate. Um, Something new that I'm doing is the hot cold therapy. So sauna for 20, 30 minutes, cold plunge for 5 minutes. Okay, that'll get you real quick.
I considered that. I'm still
Oh yeah, you want, I'm gonna tell you what they do. You go to the plunge first. That's for failure. So between that and learning something new every day, that's one of my things. I have certain boundaries as far as when I start work. I'm a night owl, so I work pretty late. But like before 12 p.m., you won't see me do any of that. I'm like chilling, making sure I'm good, mental straight. If I gotta take a break, I'm good on that. Take naps. I will take a nap. I love naps. You know what I mean? I don't know why as babies we took naps and then as we got we stopped. So I love
right.
naps. You know what I mean? It's either you're a baby or you're like super old. Like I've been doing naps. I've been doing naps for a while. So there's something as far as the routine goes, um, and it tremendously. And like if it's a really bad day, we shutting it down, we repurposing, we like putting things on. I got a deep focus mode on my phone, so nothing goes in except for mom and the fiance. And
So I'm just looking at some comments. Somebody said your sneaker collection is mean.
like that.
I mean, I mean.
Yeah, like that. I'm crazy. I'm crazy too.
So, for anybody who might just be joining, again, I am talking to Nikki, known as This Is Nikki on Instagram, 189,000 followers on IG, 14,000 followers on YouTube. She built her own
YouTube, I'm proud
community.
about. YouTube's not a game, so I'm
You're
proud about
doing
the
your
YouTube
numbers over
one.
there. You're doing your
Yeah.
numbers over there. And I had this whole intro that I totally messed up, but I just feel like I was watching LeBron and his son playing.
Mm-hmm.
So in honor of that, I really wanted to start with you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. And the
Mm-hmm.
reason why I'm here speaking with Nikki now is all because I just asked a question.
Mm-hmm.
Asked, would she come on my podcast? And she was like, yeah, sure. And I was like, that's it. I thought she was going to be like, yeah, call my people. She was like, send me the information. And I really appreciate that because sometimes I think when we see people on social media, we feel like, or when they, for social standards, when they've reached a certain level, that we kind of put them in this space where they almost start to become unattainable at unattainable levels, or like at out of touch and out of reach for
Mm-hmm.
us. And I really appreciate, after speaking with you and being a part of some of your lives, you're the same person all the time. Just very like, hey, you got a question, I'm gonna help you. This me all the
Big
time,
facts.
very consistent. And I appreciate that. And I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna share something else with you at the end and you tell me how I did. But
Okay.
I wanted to know, how do you measure success today and how has that evolved from when you first started?
Um, I think I don't know if it evolved too much because I've always been a very simple type vibe, right? Even though I'm from New York and uh shout out to my mom, I do have some expensive tastes in certain points of my life. But I think for me it's more of happiness and freedom. That's my whole definition. If you can have a level of freedom and extreme amount of happiness, we're good. I mean, of course, as humans, we need some type of like limitations when it comes to our freedom, a little bit, not too crazy. But if I'm able to not have to look at my bank account every single day, every single week, every single time I have to pay for something or want to do something,
Mm-hmm.
and I know that we're good, we're straight, I don't have to worry about that. Um, for me, that's a level of success. It's not even about a dollar amount. It's the care and the worry is gone. I'm like, I'm cool. I could do what I want. Happiness is like everything that I do, it makes me happy. I'm not doing anything that stresses me out. I'm not doing anything that I have to do in order to do this. Like, I refuse to do that anymore. I think there is a certain part of your life you have to get to this part. So for me, that's what success is. And before, I probably put a dollar amount to it, not understanding that money doesn't necessarily solve anything. And I know, shout out to those people who are like, yeah, people who have money,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean, say that. Um, and to the extent of, I hear what you're saying, right? But honestly, time with being able to have time with my fiance is more than any type of check that I could have, you know? And money is a resource to be able to do certain things. So for sure, right? But I'm not going to do anything for money that makes me unhappy. I've said a lot of no's, from sponsorships, brand deals, to client. I don't even necessarily work with clients per se, because it doesn't necessarily make me happy. You feel what I'm saying? Like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm big on helping others as a whole, not your individual need per se,
Right.
and you being selfish on some, I just want Nikki to just do this, because now you limit me from helping others. So for me, it's evolved in that kind of way. I don't put a a dollar amount to success. I put freedom and happiness, and I'm good with that.
No, I appreciate that. So I started this podcast. I came from tech too. I was in tech sales, making a lot of money, but
Hmm.
it wasn't what really made me get out of bed in the morning. And that's why I created the name Ikigai Flow, just off the whole concept of like what is going to get me excited. And I come from like a teaching background. So I
Yeah,
always like to, just impart some type of knowledge or experience that I've gained.
yeah.
So for you, what advice would you give to someone who's trying to like build their personal brand but struggling to find their voice or their niche or their thing?
I think stop looking at others, right? Now there is a level of research, of course, right? When we're starting a brand of any sort, and we're getting on these different social media platforms, making a website, all that stuff, we do have to have a level of research for a foundation. Absolutely. What has worked out there?
Right.
What becomes a problem is that we start copying what's out there. instead of really figuring out, I like that, I like that. Now, how do I add who I am genuinely out there to the world? And finding your voice actually takes a minute. It's not as quick as other people. Okay, I'm gonna do this for about a couple of weeks, couple of days, maybe even a month. I figured out my voice. That's cool. It probably takes a couple of years for some. It may be sooner.
Right.
It just depends how consistent you are, right? And how intentional are you being when it comes to getting better 1% every single day. So have the research, but identify who you are first. If you can identify who you are first, as far as why are you really on social media? Not because everybody's on social media, but like, what is your true goal? What is your true reason of being on social media, starting a brand? What is that? Who are you trying to serve, right? Who is your audience? But then also, like, who are you? Are you the introvert? Are you the extrovert? Are you both, right? So you can understand that at first, when you're starting, you're going to naturally speak to those people who are you. So if you are the introvert, you're going to, it's okay. Other introverts are on social media too. Like, so you could talk to them in a written standpoint and people will read it. If you want to do video, that's okay. People will watch it. You feel what I'm saying? But you got to identify, all right, I'm this, I'm naturally this. I can create written all the time, video all the time, pictures all the time. I could draw all day. Cool. I could do audio. I should maybe go into podcasting. Once you identify what is your natural, everything else becomes super clear. It's easy to then go, I know how I'm going to show up. I know my tone. I know who I'm speaking to. And then now I just got to break down for my audience, what is their biggest pain points? If I understand their biggest pain points, I can say certain trigger words, right? I can say things that they're seeking for, what they're desiring based off what I can give them, right? And so if I was to create a post real quick, because I know my audience, if I wanted to go from a wide standpoint, I could do something like, this AI tool will instantly make you viral in about 3 months. They're like, wait, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because people are interested in AI, and then people want to become viral. Or I could switch it up into like, this is going to get you more followers compared to if you just did it organically by yourself. Oh, wow. Okay, cool. But that's because I understand the pain points, right? I can understand, okay, hey, this is faceless content you could create because I know you don't like being in front of the camera. Oh, hello. What's let me pay attention. There's certain trigger words you know and only you know, but you have to identify that and then strategically pop out on social media talking that talk. If you don't, then you're going to sound super generic like everybody else. And I focus more on one person than necessarily the millions. If I focus on few and cater to them, they are going to be the one that's going to get me out to many. So and plus you don't have to sound super generic when you do that. You could get real specific and they're like, yo, that makes sense. I'm sharing this. I'm sharing this. So that's just some things when you're like starting out, like fully do the research, but more from an inspiration standpoint than a copy standpoint. Understand who you are, understand who you're talking to, and then pop out.
So, I mean, with that, that makes a lot of sense. But what do you feel like is the thing then that keeps people from being successful? Because everybody can start a business, they could do the research, they have all the things, but then they don't go that extra step further to whatever. And what do you think that is? Is it just
It could be
fear,
it
or
could be
most
multiple
people
things.
just
It could be doubt. It could be fear. It could be time. Not priority. Like I always say, if you're not necessarily consistent on social media, it's not a priority to you, right? Like your brand isn't necessarily a priority. You selling certain things, making sure that your brand is successful is a priority to you. There could be multiple reasons that I think each individual has their own thing. So I don't want to put, let's say, for the totality of people, why they haven't started is because of this thing. However, I mean, life could life. And I'm not going to sit here and say uh, people don't go through that. There's going to be periods. It's a matter of how do you get past those periods. It's a matter of like, how do you get past that doubt? How do you get past the obstacles? Because there's going to happen. There's not a successful uh influencer celebrity brand that hasn't necessarily gone through obstacles, doubt, uh low revenue, people hating on them, people leaving. There's been
Mhm.
so many different things, and it's really adjusting. Like we're never put in situations we can't handle. Never put. If we're given an idea, if we're given this kind of energy to start something, there's normally a reason for that. And we have to kind of like lock in on that. If not, we're being disobedient. And
I
that's
feel like
because
I
that
should
could be
have
a
one of
whole,
these that be like message.
yeah, like I'm just saying, it's in any little small thing. I'm telling you, like, yo, I got an idea for a post. Okay, that didn't come from me. Like
Mhm.
none of my creativity, none of my business moves never comes from me. I don't give that power to myself, right? That's a higher situation, no matter who you believe in, right? But
Mhm.
it's if we're not tapped into that, if we're not tapped into like, yo, this didn't come from me, it creates that stoppage. It creates that never starting part, because then we're allowing doubt and all these other different excuses to kind of fill in and like lead the way, and leaves us maybe necessarily in 9 to 5s we don't want to be in, situations we don't want to be in, kind of the same type of numbers and the same type of followings that we don't necessarily deserve, right?
Mhm.
Because if we're hitting that glass ceiling, that's not where we need to be. We got to pivot and shift in some kind of way. So there's many reasons. It's just a matter of what you're going to do with that.
Let's see. I have a comment here from YouTube because I'm streaming live on
Come
YouTube too.
on. What's up, YouTube? What's up,
It,
multiple platforms?
hey. Were there any specific misunderstandings you once had about content creation or social media that you've had to unlearn?
Um, I think one was posting every single day. You had to. And that's something I had to unlearn. Even though certain platforms I will post every single day because I just like doing it.
Hmm.
Right. That's just now it's a more of a like. It's not because I have to. It's like,
Right.
oh, I really got something to say every day. Right. But I don't post every single day on YouTube. I don't put that pressure on me. That's wild. Shout out to those who can. I can't. Right. But I'm
Hmm.
realizing it's not necessarily every single day you have to post. It's how committed to the days that you said you're going to be there. So there are people who post 3 times a week, but they go hard on their posts. It's not mediocre. It's like it's a home run every single time. And so they can so they concentrate on those three posts a week, and I'm good. That may take them 3 days each. You feel me? Some people only do once a week, right? Depending on the platforms that you're in. But it's a home run each and every single solitary time. So I had to unlearn that it's not necessarily every single day, multiple times a day, especially if you can't keep that quality up. Because then you start doing these fillers that mean nothing to nobody. But you can sit here and say, well, I posted every single day. but it doesn't add any kind of value. So the quality of what you have, and quality doesn't always equal up. And that's another thing. Quality doesn't always equal up to the cameras and the lights and everything like that, because there are viral moments through a phone. It's the value from a motivation, education, entertainment standpoint that you give on whatever camera, whatever device that you're using. And so when I was really getting into content, I'm like, okay, the three stages of content creation is consistency, quality, and connection, right? And so the quality part, I'm like, we got to buy the best cameras, we got to get the mics, we got to get this and that, and whoop de woo. I promise you, majority of the content that I record through this doesn't do anything as quite as half as the things that I do from my phone. Like, I don't know if it's because it becomes more human and more relatable. And I'm going to assume it's kind of that. But I'll record on my phone in a minute over this. And I could have saved so much money. So much money. Do you know how many random cameras, I know some of y'all Amazon cart is full of certain things, or you have it in the closet still packaged up and everything. Put that on eBay. You're never going to use it. You're never going to use it. It's cool. And you're not wrong for that. You had all intentions. It's like that gym situation. I'm going to go, I'm going to pay, and I'm going to take this serious, right?
You stepping
Take
on
this
toes.
serious. I haven't been to the gym since before the pandemic. You feel me? Like, it's just not, it's not happening, dog. It's okay, because you gotta be good with what you have and master what you have. So if you haven't even mastered certain numbers through just your phone, like, you think it's gonna get better just because you get a better camera?
Right.
Because it looks better? Your messaging can still be trash. Your quality looks great, but your messaging could still be trash. So for me, I'm like, let me focus on the messaging. Let me focus on the swag. Let me focus on the authenticity and feeling comfortable with who I am, because for me, I deal with self-identity issues, right? I'm Black and Puerto Rican, so I'm never too Black. I'm never too Puerto Rican. I can't speak Spanish for my life, but I'm proud. I'm one of the proudest Puerto Ricans. Got 2 Puerto Rican flags tatted on me, all that great stuff. Can't speak a lick of Spanish, right? So, especially with my sexuality, I'm not too feminine, but I'm not a little boy. You know what I mean? Like, so I've dealt with self-identity issues. I had to tap into, like, yo, people like you for you because you like you for you. If you never like you, other people are not going to like you.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to really figure out that mode of content creation that allows me to stay who I am with what I have, and understand that it is not the pressure of doing it every single day.
So what is your, because I'm trying to shape this in a way, because the person that I'm speaking to is the person that has this idea for a podcast, a book, a business, and they've put it on the shelf for a long time because of fear or whatever. My hope is that maybe you come across this and something you hear makes you feel like, you know what, I'm gonna pick it back up, I'm gonna finish that thing that I started. So what would you say to someone who is in a position where, you know, they're working a job, they don't like it, they have this other thing that they're passionate about, but maybe they feel like, I don't know if I can make money from it, so I don't know if it's worth it to do. What would you say to that person that is passionate about something but doesn't really see the path to start?
So, one, shout out, and if you're watching this live, replay people, I got you in a second. But if you're watching this live and you work a 9 to 5, just put 9 to 5. Just let me know you're in that situation that she's saying. My replay people, put in the comments somewhere, email her. I'm a 9 to 5 too, right? It's all about strategically moving into your passion. Shout out to those people who are like, I'm gonna jump and this is gonna be all about what I want to do, and there's no plan B, there's only plan A. Shout out to them. People have kids, bills, uh, sanity that they have to maintain. That I'm not I'm not for that, right? So I look at, let's say you're 9 to 5, where you may be miserable, but it pays you so you can do the bills, right? You create goals, right? As far as this is my number, so I can quit. And I'm going to put money aside to do that. Or I'm going to use the money here, a certain percentage, and I'm going to fund my business, my passion, right? Because you're 9 to 5 and the thing that you're miserable at, right, is your business partner. The one that you don't like, the business partner you're not a fan of, but you have to take this for a minute, okay? So you could be like, bump y'all. I'm not here for you. But thank you for being able to fund this, right? Because I don't have to worry about benefits. I don't have to worry about lights being on. I don't have to worry about all these different things. I'm going to leverage the situation that I'm miserable in, and I'm going to find the positive in it to be able to build what I want to be in, to build that happiness that I want to be in. Right. So it's about finding the positive in everything that we're in. If I'm in this, if it's not working right now, like, yo, I don't necessarily see that path, then what do you see? Like, and we are, as humans, we'll trump a negative over a positive all day.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I got paid 2 times a month. Everything's good. I got food, but I stumped my toe. Everything sucks. This right here, horrible. Cool. Got it. But in this time, just find one thing, just one thing that you could hold on to, that you're like, okay, I see the point of this. Like, if you are gauging if this is going to work based off revenue, right? Based off money. So how much money do you need to make in order to be like, this is working? What have you even established that based off you? Not everybody else. Because what we're going to do is start looking and be like, damn, I went live and there was only 4 people. This ain't working. Right? Damn, I got only 1 sale. Damn, like, but here's the thing. That's 4 strangers that have no clue like where you live, nothing like that, unless you put that on social media, that is taking time from their world to turn on to your stuff. That's one person who believed in an idea. There was an idea that you had that was nothing. It was like a cloud. You weren't touching it. You actually made it into something and somebody bought it. That means you don't have a product problem. You don't have a brand problem. You have a messaging problem. You haven't figured out the right words to get it out to the world. So in this time frame where you're in that messed up, miserable scenario of a 9 to 5, or if any other thing that you're like, God, for a relationship, leave it. Okay, it's toxic. Chill out. Go away. But if you're in that thing where like, this is not going to pay the bills, I might as well stay right here. Right? Leverage that. Figure out your numbers. Figure out your money happy numbers, and what is your happy number. Just happy meter. Like, you suck here, but over here, I'm good. Like, I took a 30K cut when I transferred out of my bank job into what I do now. But I was happy, right? I was extremely, extremely happy. And I'm okay with that because, and that's why I said, like, people are going to be like, oh, because you got, I took a 30K cut. All right. I lost a marriage because I took a 30K cut at the time. So yeah, no, it's not about, it's like, I really truly see something bigger. And if you don't necessarily see anything bigger, then keep searching, because that random dream idea or whatever, if you really can't see yourself going further with it, that's not the right dream yet. It's going to come to you, but there's just leverage what you have.
Wait, let me show y'all how quick I learned. Put value in the chat
Come
if
on.
you are getting value from this
Come on.
conversation right now.
Come on.
I'm a quick learner. See y'all. Okay, I'm gonna put y'all up on some a little later, but y'all got to be picking up what she putting down because
Come
she
on.
dropping some knowledge. And I know there are a lot of people, even in my circle, people that are brilliant and have other things that they want to do, but you know, from you working this good job and it's good and it's just like I don't want to start all over again, or you know, it's been so long that you've been working on something that you're just kind of like, I don't know if it even makes sense now, maybe I just need to leave that there. But if it's in you, like Nikki said, it came from somewhere. So if it's in you, it's meant for you to share
What
it
did Nipsey
with
say?
somebody else.
In you, it's not on you.
Hey,
I mean,
hey. Okay, I see it. We talking up in here. Hella value. Thank you. So I have like 56 subscribers on YouTube, and I am so happy about that. But I have
right.
like 2,500 views on my channel, and I only started a month ago. And I've been following a lot of the things that you said. I'm really excited and proud about that. But I did get a couple negative comments and like a couple dislikes, and it hurt my heart a little bit. And then I was like, you have to decide now before you get to where I see myself going, how you're going to respond to negativity and criticism, because it's a part of life. So how
Absolutely.
do you handle negative comments and criticism and stuff like that?
I really appreciate your feedback. That's what I say. Majority of the time, unless I have time. I always say that. Majority of the time, I don't have time. But when I have time, we can have a conversation, right? But majority of the time, I'm just appreciative that they took the time to even find my stuff, to even comment on it. Because I remember when I didn't have any comments. You know what I mean? So you're not going to agree with, I'm not for everybody, right? And so anybody who's listening, you're not for everybody. Yes, we are built off relationships. And so we want to have a relationship with all our people who watch us, our audience, everything like that. And we're hoping that you like us. Yes, please like us. There's some that just don't. And the good thing is that we're given platforms that we're able to express ourselves. The bad thing is that we are given platforms that we are able to express ourselves, right? Good or bad, good or bad. You have to figure out your system of how to deal with negative feedback, because it will come. You can delete it. And some people just can't see it, right? You can say thank you for your feedback. I appreciate that, regardless if I agree with you or not. I appreciate that you even took that time, right? You could do that, or you can have time, and you could be known for that person that has the time. Like, I will ask questions if I have time. I will ask the questions. Right? I will repeat what they would say. This is how you took what I said this in this kind of way. Wow. Okay. Understood. Appreciate your feedback. You feel me? Like, and the great thing is, as you continue to act pure and authentic in the ways that you do, your battles are not your battles no more.
Amen.
Your battles are your audience battles. So there's going to be somebody that's going to be like, what is wrong with you? Do you know so and so? Like, you don't follow them, because if you knew them, you would know they move in this kind of way. You know they would do this. Like, so you're going to get to a point that the negative comments is not even going to affect you because your audience is going to take care of those battles and you have to stay in your genius. Like your genius is not commenting back. That's not it. It's great. It's an amazing part, but that's not your genius. So figure out your system and it'll probably help.
So we're getting ready to wrap up. Do you have any last nuggets? I mean, you done left a whole treasure chest already, but anything else you want to leave for the people watching or the people that's going to catch it on replay?
Um, I don't want people to feel that creating content, social media, all that is like a chore. Like you have to do it. Um, Social media is a tool that is the only tool that you can get on for free and become a global brand. There's no like, and everybody, the great thing about this is the second that you're on social media and you post for a little bit, I want you to go into your analytics. I want you to go into your following and look at your audience. Go not necessarily by cities, but go by countries. And you're going to see that you're a global brand already. Regardless if you feel like it or not, regardless if you got 500 followers, 2 followers, it doesn't matter. Your content is reaching people around the world. It's when you truly embrace that's when it starts to work, right? So I don't want you to feel like, oh man, I have to post, or let me go find somebody to post for me because this just ain't it. Cool, you could do that, and that's fine. But I want you to just remember, it's really just a free tool to become a global brand, as well as to just show who you naturally are. That you don't have to perform. You don't, and we know people who perform. We've seen them. We don't need no more of that. The great thing about where we are in this season is that we are seeking for true authenticity because authenticity is rare still. As much as people speak about it, it's very rare for people to really show up who they are. So do that. Have fun with it. You know what I mean? Like, it's not that deep. It's free. You know what I mean? It's not that deep. Now, be stressed when you start paying ads. Cool. But have fun and just create a community. So it's way more easier for you.
I love all of this. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Can you give me a little something that I could chop up and put on my a little like a little drop?
Oh, listen, hold on. And first off, in the comments, right? If you're on the live or if you're watching this replay, just give me your favorite emoji. Just give me, I don't care what emoji it is, favorite emoji. The energy that you're about to give right now is the energy that you're going to get every single episode when you are listening to this podcast. Okay? The amount of value that is on this episode, that is on the next episode, that's on the past episodes, is like you wish you heard this way earlier. I don't care, like way earlier in your life, way earlier in your career. It don't matter. Like this podcast right here is the only podcast you're probably going to need to hear on a regular basis for a very long time. Okay. So subscribe, like, share, do everything you need to do to make sure you are locked in, but as well as others, because other people need that. And I don't want you to hoard information. You feel me?
Thank you so much. I appreciate everyone that took the time to watch it live. If you watch it on the replay, again, leave a comment. Let me know what you think. And do y'all see how she just transitioned real quick? I said, can you do it? And then she was just like, boom. That's how dynamic she is. I mean, I've learned so much from you literally in a month. I've
Hey,
learned so much from just following. I appreciate you. I appreciate your time. We got 10 minutes, but
Ask away. Ask any other questions you got.
let me see. Do anybody else in the chat got a question, a comment? Let me know how you feeling about it. I see some hearts and smiles
Come
and
on.
laughs. My
Come
kids are
on.
starting to
We
get a
see the
little
emojis. We see the
antsy.
emojis.
So I'm a mom and I got my kids. I was telling Nikki, I got my kids locked in the back and I'm just hoping I don't have a BBC moment, but they getting a little antsy.
Uh-oh.
So I'm oh, somebody said, what's the LB brand?
Oh, Lions behavior. Come on. Thank you. Hold on. Thank you for acknowledging that. Thank you for acknowledging. So this is a crazy part. So we're actually building this brand in public. So Lions behavior, it was started as a hashtag, right? So for me, being the introvert, I'm like anything that makes me feel uncomfortable of being out in front, right? I put Lions behavior, right? I always did that. So it's mainly for those people who are in the background, right? Who are super dope, who just move boldly, right? We're creating a brand now. And the great thing about it is that we're doing with ChatGPT. So now on live on YouTube, we're like, ChatGPT is my business partner. So we're like, okay, cool. Let's come up with the core values, right? Bet. We got bold, we got authentic, we got creative, we got fearless. And now we're figuring out stealth or confidence. We got the mission statement. They have a drip campaign. So we're literally building this where it starts with the hat, which is going to give access to a challenge down the line. But we're building this for those people who just are behind the scenes and know they're dope inside. They may not feel it outside, but know they do dope inside. There's gonna be a huge community for that. So it's in the making. It's in the making, and the hats are coming soon. So I'm excited.
All right, I just want to give some love to a couple people
Come
on.
on,
Oh my goodness,
they're coming.
Facebook, IG. Let me go over here to IG real quick because I ain't give y'all no love. Hey, Kalia, Lovejoy, Tayshawn, Beans Baby, The Dope Mom, Holla at Your Boy, Kev Rocker. Thank you so much for tuning in. For everybody on YouTube, again, like it, share it, don't keep it to yourself, and I'll see you on the next one.